video I'll be comparing the TESLAFLORA to the WITCHLEAF. Both of the units do electric damage and both of them look very good, so we'll see who does better. Just before the video starts, don't make sure to like and subscribe. We're on our way to 75,000 subscribers, we need your help. Anyway, let us hop into an endless game. I wonder which map we should choose, perhaps Enchanted Jungle. There are 2 lanes, so it is good to test their electric abilities. Both of the units deal electric damage. It would be really interesting to see who comes out on top. I'll place down the Prism Leaf over here. Should be good for early game. We'll start with the TESLAFLORA for the first run. Haven't done Enchanted Jungle Endless for a really long time. I'm really excited to see who comes out on top. Both of these units are worth a lot. Both of them do some crazy electric damage. And just by looking at the stats, the TESLAFLORA does have a slightly higher DPS compared to the WITCHLEAF, but the WITCHLEAF has the slowing ability. So it's going to be a very close comparison. And so far the Prism Leaf is carrying us the entire early game. It is definitely one of the best early game units. The Electric Beetroot was very good, but now the Prism Leaf has completely destroyed it. In terms of value as well, the Electric Beetroots just keep dropping in value, as you guys know if you know trading much. And also I'm hosting some Robux giveaways on my Discord server, so make sure to join up if you haven't. Not many people join, so it's going to be very easy to win. I'm going to place down a few more Prism Leaps, perhaps before I place down the TESLAFLORA. And honestly guys, the devs are giving a ton of good units for the Halloween update. The previous few updates all will have some crazy units in terms of DPS. Just look at the TESLAFLORA. It's got 5,000 DPS along with electric damage. That is just totally bonkers. And also the Inferno Bloom is very good this update. I'm going to place down the TESLAFLORA now. And we should be able to kill the Scorpion King boss really quickly. And I'm going to sell the Prism Leaps. I think that the TESLAFLORA can do a good enough job to hold back all of the enemies. What I'm going to do for a fair comparison, I'm just going to place down all the units to compare right at this spot over here. Just to make it fair, of course. I just want to be as objective as possible when I'm doing the comparison, so that you guys can tell which unit is actually better. And here comes another Scorpion King boss. The TESLAFLORA should be able to handle it. And there we go, we killed the Scorpion King boss. And what I can see right now is that the TESLAFLORA can deal damage to 360 degrees. Literally everything in its radius is getting killed. A max level TESLAFLORA. The upgrading costs are also not that high, so it's very good. Here comes a bunch of these enemies, and as you can see, the TESLAFLORA is really good at the crowd controls. You can literally deal damage to all of the enemies in its range at the same time, simultaneously. And we've got a bunch of crowds over here not bothering the TESLAFLORA at all. I think this game's gonna last a bit long. The TESLAFLORAs are definitely cooking right now, the entire endless mode. I've also heard that the TESLAFLORA is really good for survival mode, because it deals 360 DPS, wait no, 360 degrees DPS. Like, it literally hits all of the enemies when you're playing survival mode. Not to mention the cheap upgrading costs. If you got the TESLAFLORA in the survival mode, it's literally a cheat code from what I've heard. And we can also see this in endless mode already. All the crowds in the survival mode you can imagine are getting destroyed like this. It is a bit bonkers. The devs are literally giving this to free-to-play players. And it's also not sold out when this video is being made. And by the time being, it still has like 6,000 stock from what I've seen. What we're going to do now is that we're going to wait till wave 50 where the strong boss is going to come out. And we're going to see if the TESLAFLORA can handle that boss in time. So these crowds are not challenging to the TESLAFLORA at all. If you haven't watched the showcase for the TESLAFLORA, make sure you do before you buy the unit. You can see how good it actually is. You can tell also by this comparison right now. I wonder if the WITCHLEAF can outperform the TESLAFLORA. TESLAFLORA does have full range AoE, but it's only got 38 range at its maximum level. But on the other hand, the WITCHLEAF doesn't have full range electric damage, but it does have a larger range at its maximum level. And here comes the Scorpion King boss. I wonder if the TESLAFLORA can handle this boss in time. I think they can. It's already at 100,000 HP left, and I think we should be able to kill it. And there we go. That was pretty close, but anyway, we managed to kill it, so that's all that matters. Next challenge is, I think, going to be at wave 75 if I'm not wrong. And so far, the TESLAFLORA has not been challenged by any boss. The Scorpion King boss did make it a bit too far, I can tell. Perhaps we will lose on the next boss, but we'll have to wait it out. I wonder if the WITCHLEAF would lose on wave 50. That was close for the TESLAFLORA. If the WITCHLEAF is slightly worse compared to the TESLAFLORA, it's going to go away. But do keep in mind the larger range the WITCHLEAF has got. It's only 4 increase in the range, but 4 range perhaps is good enough. Who knows, so we're going to have to tell later. But I mean, considering how rare both units are, the TESLAFLORA is really good. You need to roll for the WITCHLEAF and you're going to spend a ton of candy corns for it. But for the TESLAFLORA, it's guaranteed that you'll get it. That's the difference between the two. One is friendly for free-to-play players, the other not that friendly, depends on luck. That is why I view the TESLAFLORA really highly. It's definitely worth getting if you've got the candy corns. The way it controls the game is totally absurd. I really don't think that it could lose on wave 75, but we'll have to see. The waves are definitely getting harder now. The enemies have got higher healths, especially the crowds, but since it does full range AoE, it's not going to be a problem at all. Also, the design for the TESLAFLORA is really cool. The Tesla coil does the electricity effect, and you can see that the crowds are slowly pushing forward a little bit. If there are a bit more enemies, perhaps it can challenge the TESLAFLORA, but for now, no. The TESLAFLORA is controlling the game really well, and we're approaching wave 75, so that's going to be where another boss will spawn. I think I don't play Enchanted Jungle really much, and here comes a bunch of dragonflies, but none of them went past the TESLAFLORAs. It is too good. And wait, there was no bosses on wave 75, so perhaps we'll have to wait till wave 100. But as you can see, the dragonflies did make it pretty far, and also you can tell that the TESLAFLORA is really overpowered. It literally dealt damage to all of the dragonflies in this range and killed all of them at the same time. I'm literally glazing one of the units in the game right now. That's pretty funny. I've never said one unit is that good. I never rated a unit that highly. But the TESLAFLORA has really surprised me with its abilities to control crowds, and its upgrading costs are really good for mid to late game. The last time I'm praising such unit that highly was the Corruptor Stem, but that wasn't free to play. Many people paid robux for it, so it wasn't fair to many players. The Either Find from the last week wasn't that good either. It's either the Corruptor Stem and the TESLAFLORA that won my heart. And also, one sad thing though about the TESLAFLORA is that it's making the endless wave very, very long. If we reach 200 waves, then that's 200 waves that I'll need to edit in this video. That is pretty bad for me. I'm very sad. I hope it dies soon. Just kidding. I hope it lasts till as long as possible. Let's see if it can beat wave 100. That's going to be a really big challenge. Just to talk about the comparison a little bit more, the TESLAFLORA does AoE damage, but the WITCHLEAF doesn't. But on the other hand, the WITCHLEAF has a slowing effect, so who knows. I don't know if the slowing effects can compensate for the single target DPS. The TESLAFLORA does AoE, so it's probably good for like squads or trio in endless mode, because then there's going to be more enemies that will spawn compared to solo or duo. If you are playing duo in endless mode, I suggest bring single target DPS, but for squad you'll probably need Fault Shade, all those stuff with AoE damage like Strongest Punch Potato. All those AoE units are going to be useful. And here comes wave 100. 600,000 HP Scorpion King boss. I really doubt if we can kill it. Definitely not. We're gonna have to see how much health it is left with. So it's left with 295,000 DPS health. We're gonna have to compare that with the WITCHLEAF, who did better against the Scorpion King boss at wave 100. But perhaps, who knows, the WITCHLEAF may not be able to survive till wave 100. Or perhaps it can even kill the Scorpion King boss. No one knows. Now I'll place down the Prism Leaf just over here, just like the last game, to keep it simple and fair. Got some tedious early game stuff again. Really tedious. I hope the scaling is a bit tougher for the waves so that it can shorten the game. When you look at the waves between the waves that bosses spawn, none of that is actually meaningful. No one's gonna lose to some crowds, right? Everyone is gonna bring AoE units to endless games, so that crowd spam is really not gonna work at all. People are just gonna lose to the bosses. If the scaling is a bit more difficult, like a boss every 10 waves, perhaps that can shorten some of the endless games, and so people don't need to spend 20 to 24 hours for each endless game, which can lead to many disconnections and other unfortunate stuff like that, costing them really long hours. I've got a maxed out Prism Leaf over here. I'll place down another one. This comparison is going to be very interesting. I'm really excited to see the results, but we'll have to wait, of course. I forgot if you can place down 2 or 3 WITCHLEAFs. I think only 2. If you can place down 3, then the comparison wouldn't be that fair, because you can only place down 2 TESLAFLORAs. But perhaps if even I can place down 3, I'm just going to place down 2 WITCHLEAFs. 2 for 2, that's probably fair. Just sprinting through the early waves. And I can place down the WITCHLEAF now. Not enough money. And there we go. Here comes the dragonflies. Once I get the WITCHLEAF to level 2, I'm going to sell the Prism Leaves. And even with the help of the Prism Leaves, the WITCHLEAF barely made it. This shows how advantageous the TESLAFLORA really is in terms of upgrading prices, especially for its initial few levels. Like for level 2 or 3, it does have some really cheap upgrading costs, and it's really good for its value. But as you can see, the WITCHLEAF really struggled for wave 20 just now. We are now at wave 25. The WITCHLEAF is doing its electric damage. I'm not sure if it can make it. I upgraded the WITCHLEAF in time to kill the Scorpion King boss, but now it's going to deal with a bunch of leaks over there, and we managed to survive, but barely. Really, the AoE damage of the TESLAFLORA is OP. You can tell by the WITCHLEAF now it doesn't have AoE, and it was struggling a little bit just now against the crowds, but perhaps it can do a little bit better now. I think after the enemies reach these 2 lanes over here, the WITCHLEAF is going to struggle, because the electric damage is only good when it is single lane. But when it goes to 2 lanes, the WITCHLEAF is going to have a hard time, because they'll have to do damage to 2 sides respectively, not at the same time. That's going to cost the DPS a little bit. And yes, you can place down 3 WITCHLEAFs, perhaps. Just for the sake of not being yelled at in the comments, I'm going to place down all 3 of them, because that tells the true DPS when all the units are placed down. In this case, I guess the WITCHLEAFs might win, but if I sell one of them, I think the TESLAFLORA has the upper hand. But who knows, I'm just going to give it a try. You guys can make your own judgment in the comments below. Tell me which unit you actually prefer. And personally, I do like the TESLAFLORA a bit more. The AoE damage is just bonkers. It's an actual cheat code. But one thing that I believe is that on wave 75, where you remember the dragonflies are going to spawn, they all have really high HP, but the WITCHLEAF doesn't have AoE damage, so that's going to cost the WITCHLEAF a little bit. I wonder if it can make it over wave 75. It's going to be the main challenge for the WITCHLEAF. But after all, I think the bosses is not going to pose much of an issue, because if we can place down 4 WITCHLEAFs, it's going to be like 13,000 DPS if I calculated it correctly. I calculate by heart. My maths is not that good. Don't yell at me if I got it wrong, but I do think that it is 13.5 thousand DPS at its max level after you place down all 3 WITCHLEAFs. And we're approaching wave 50 where another Scorpion King boss is going to spawn. That is going to be quite interesting, because if it max through wave 50, then the next challenge is going to be at wave 75, directly where the WITCHLEAF is weakest at. So wave 49, and the boss is about to come out. So 300,000 DPS, the WITCHLEAF still isn't doing any damage to the boss because it doesn't have AoE, and now they're doing damage and the slowing as well. That's going to be a really great advantage for the WITCHLEAF. The Scorpion King boss is making it quite far, and the crowd as well. But the WITCHLEAF manages to hold everything back, just barely though. And also the WITCHLEAF does have animation, so in the creation is a bit more creative compared to the Tesla coil. Tesla coil isn't moving at all, but I mean Tesla coils shouldn't move, right? So it is a bit lazy in the design, but at the end of the day it's just gonna matter if the unit is good or not. And so far the WITCHLEAF is doing a decent job, a bit worse compared to the TESLAFLORA when meeting crowds, but still it does have really good crowd control potential. The crowds are getting more health wave by wave. It's going to be a slight challenge for the WITCHLEAFs. I do see the crowds pushing a bit forward wave by wave. They're making it further and further. Hopefully that's not going to be a big issue for the WITCHLEAF. I can't imagine a unit dying to crowds. That's going to be really embarrassing. We're approaching wave 70 where things are going to be a bit more challenging. As you can see, the crowds are getting further and further. Before it was killed, everything was killed here, but now things can push over to this spot. It's getting a bit out of hand for the WITCHLEAFs. It's just going to be a few more waves till the 4 dragonflies are going to spawn, and that's going to be a huge problem for the WITCHLEAF. I have emphasized that a lot already. The WITCHLEAF doesn't have AoE damage, so we'll see if the slowing of the WITCHLEAF can actually compensate for a single target. And also do let me know what you want me to compare the TESLAFLORA with. And here comes the dragonflies. The first one has been killed, the second one gets really far, and that's how I predicted things are gonna go. See, some units are gonna lead. The crowd is getting out of control. I won't move the units just to make it fair, and as you can see, the WITCHLEAF is slightly worse in crowd control. I guess in this challenge the TESLAFLORA won.